What's going on YouTube, fam? It's your boy Tony 2Times, and we back with another episode of Hood Tales, man. Before I start, be sure to like, share, comment. Definitely watch the video to the end. Let's get right into it. District of Columbia, D.C. in the 80s and 90s was home to some of the biggest hustlers and hitters in the world. Rayful Evans, the trapper that made millions of dollars in the streets of D.C. Wayne Perry, a hitter that had the streets of D.C. in his grips and did not have any picks at all. Home of go-go, dreads, and money, the city where the White House is located has a whole nother world in the streets. Back in the 80s and 90s, in the heart of the crack era, the district erupted in sales and violence. One infamous crew, the K Street crew, we will be talking about on this episode of Hood Tales, had their section of the city sold up. In Southwest D.C, the Greenleaf Garden housing complex is where it all started. Allegedly, the K Street crew sold up the area selling grass, which at the time was rare because the smack and crack era was going on. The gang was advanced for their time, with the complex sold up, plus anybody who owed money or was said to be talking to the police didn't last long. With police scanners to network and hear activity of what the police was doing, the gang realized if they can get the community in compliance, it's nothing the law could do. With customers coming from all over DC to get the 4 grams of grass for $20, the gang quickly took competition by storm, and if anybody was bold enough to come in their area, it was blickies or bats and sticks to get their mind right. Let's discuss some alleged members and their roles. Vincent Hill, the alleged leader, was known to be a by any means necessary type of dude to protect the money in the area. Him and his comrades did whatever it took, and when it came to getting somebody out the way, they called the gang's alleged hitman, who was said to be responsible for 9 bodies. Samuel Chin Carson. Between 1989 to 1996, the gang was allegedly responsible for 31 shootings with 13 homicides. Let's talk about some events. When Vincent allegedly got into beef with a member of the L Street crew, him and his brother hit the man up, killing him. The member who was said to be one of the founders of L Street, the gang didn't take it lightly, and it would start a war. But in 1989, the gang would let it be known they were not playing with anyone getting close to this area. When a small-time hustler was shot and killed in '89, right behind that, 2 other people, one found in the alley of the complex. Police realized fast nobody was talking because of fear. And when Chen, the gang's alleged hitman, went to his girlfriend's house to grab a blicky, he left her to hold, things would get shaky. As the young lady stated, she didn't have the blicky anymore. Chen took that as a sign of disrespect, or either she sold it or gave it away, which led to him allegedly shooting and killing her, and unfortunately shooting her sister, who was on the couch asleep as well. It was kids in the house, but nobody saying anything, and as the gang believed, not leaving any witnesses. With police frustrated, knowing K Street was active, but nobody would talk, the gang kept it moving, business as usual. When a man who wasn't in the streets was said to win big at a casino, the crew got word and decided to take the lick. With the gang going by the code, no witnesses, they went to rob the man, but left a few people shot and killed. As time went on, things would get active. Police realized at least 5 potential witnesses ended up dead, including the man who decided to give up the gang, but wouldn't make it to trial. Beating cases left and right, and the streets scared of the crew, they grew comfortable. And in 1996, when a woman would witness the crew hit somebody, she would agree to testify, but while leaving a party a few days before the trial started, she was fatally shot and killed. But when the uncle of a respected member was jammed up, this would make an investigation come to light. The uncle, who was allegedly one of the gang's main plugs for the grass, decided to cooperate after being arrested to get his charges either threw out or dropped to a lower charge. But when his nephew was arrested and realized all the information the police had, he knew something wasn't right, and his uncle was arrested and let go. He felt like the man was talking. The member called other members stating, "I don't care if it's family or not, he gotta go," in which the gang did just that. They found out what Unc was and did the hit. But now in 1996, with 7 years of getting money and doing hits, the gang run was coming to an end. With the streets scared and more people willing to talk, Investigations will lead to police solving old murders, kidnappings, and shootings. With no statute of limitation on hits, the gang's luck was running out. 10 members were arrested, including the alleged leader and hitman, Vincent and Chen. Prosecutors alleged the gang put so much fear in the community, witnesses wouldn't dare talk. But with evidence and witness protection, the case would eventually go to trial. Chen being charged with 9 bodies. Most members received life sentences, except a few with lesser roles in the organization. More of this story, back then, the streets was just as ruthless. Nothing changes but the players. But even if you got the streets in compliance, sooner or later somebody will talk, and it might be the person right next to you. So remember, we gotta succeed, not to fail, so we won't be just another hood tale. Man, crazy story, you feel me? Shout out DC, you know what I mean? Like, I heard of K Street like a long time ago. I've been hearing about them, L Street, you know, 2 different organizations, you know what I mean? First in Kennedy, I believe it is, that's another organization. So I'm gonna get into all that. But man, these dudes were super active, you feel me? In the 80s and 90s, like this when the crack era first hit, you know what I mean? This when dudes were still beating dudes with bats and all that. But they had a thing, they felt as though long as they kept the police out their business, they could stay free and get money, in which they was right. But by hitting so many people and so many witnesses coming up missing, it just made the police want them even more. And it's crazy because after all them years and after all them alleged hits, it was the person right next to him, one of the members' uncles, who they trusted and they felt like I'd never say nothing. He the one who cooperated for lesser time. The plug, that's how it be, man. But yeah, a lot of these boys got big time, you know, life in prison. Like I said, Chen, they accused him of like 9 hits, you know what I mean? And they said over the years, it was like 30 something, 40 something shootings, and they tried to blame them for all that in the area. Now, DC, just like a lot of other states, they trying to gentrify now, you feel me? They trying to make things look better than it was. But in the 80s and 90s, you know what I mean? A lot of these cities and inner cities, they looked at way worse than they do now. So the pictures I got of the apartment complex, I'm sure it looked different back then. I couldn't find a picture back then, but yeah, man, crazy story. Y'all already know, man. Salute to DC, man. Be sure to like, comment, share. If you're new to the fam, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It's your boy Tony 2 times. I'm out.